What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first video of the channel Phan Sho Live. I think it's Phan Sho Live. I don't know, I might be wrong. But if you're currently seeing this on the other channel, this is me telling you that any leak content that I'll be doing, whether it be streams, videos, or shorts, it's going to be going directly to my other channel, which I will have linked in the description below. And today we're going to be going through Aphelios. You're probably wondering, haven't you already done an Aphelios guide or something like that? I have. However, it's come to my attention that some people in low elo do not understand how Aphelios works, and they're losing out on the freest amount of LP. All it takes is for you to know how to fight, what to avoid, and what you can actually engage in, so to speak. So we're going to be looking at team compositions. We're going to play a maximum of 2 games for this video, but first, let's do a quick review on the champion himself. I know it seems like a lot, but I got you guys covered. Let's get into it. So first, we're going to obviously hover our champion. We're going to look at the rune pages as well. Now, Aphelios, on release, used to run Conqueror. This rune right here. You gain stacks of adaptive force whenever you deal damage. If you use abilities, you gain 2 stacks. If you just basic attack as a ranged champion, you only get 1 stack. It's pretty useful because some of the abilities can help proc it fast, like Calibrum Q. You're going to understand what Calibrum Q is in a second, once we get to it. But there's a bunch of different things that can go off of with Conqueror. I like to go press the attack because it's a lot easier to proc. So we're going to go press the attack, hitting them 3 times, and there's different interactions with different weapons that allows you to hit this press the attack, which is good for short burst trades. It's the thing that we have to pay attention to the most. I go absorb life, depending on the matchup. I typically like to go Presence of Mind if I'm very aggressive. Bloodline, must have. Cut down, must have. I like to go the sorcery tree, but you could also go the inspiration tree. We'll touch up on more runes towards the end of the video. But right now we're going to save, we're going to continue on. As you can see, I have exhaust. There's a reason why I have exhaust, but we're not going to get into that until we get into a game where it's necessary. Alright, perfect. Signature role quest. Starter item, I'm going to go to a Deep Blade start. That's what you're typically going to go. And now, let's do a quick review. Aphelios wields 5 Lunari weapons made by his sister Elune. He has access to 2 at a time, 1 main hand and 1 offhand. Each weapon has a unique attack and ability. Attacks and abilities consume the weapon's ammo. When a weapon runs out of ammo, Aphelios will discard it and Elune will summon another one. The weapon orders as follow: Calibrum, the sniper rifle; Severum, the scythe pistol; Gravitum, the gravity cannon; Infernum, the flamethrower; and Crescendum, the chakrams. As you can see here, the weapons do different things. So Calibrum, long range attacks. You get 100 more attack range. Severum, lifesteal and movement speed. Gravitum, slowing and immobilizing effects, which is just rooting. And then Infernum, air AoE damage. Crescendum, high damage at close range. Crescendum is going to be your ticket out of iron, bronze, silver, you name it. You will always be able to 1v1 skirmish somebody because they're never going to expect your damage potential. So, we're going to level up our Q. Aphelios, instead of actually having abilities, he will just rank up his skills, or his stats. So Q is attack damage, W is attack speed, and E is lethality. Keep that in mind. Sometimes you want to do an E max, sometimes you want to do a Q max, sometimes you want to spread your stats across accordingly. But for right now, we're just going to do a Q max, straight damage. So, level up our Q, and then we head into the lane. Aphelios does not have an ability level 1. He does not have any ability, so all you can do is auto. You want to use your sniper rifle to poke, and you also want to use your scythe pistol to farm. Because every time you auto attack with your scythe pistol, you get a little bit of an overshield. It's small, but it helps. So now we're level 2. Because we're level 2, our Q immediately unlocks. So now we're going to spawn in a dummy and demonstrate each and every single ability. minions. Now, you have Severum Q. Onslaught. Aphelios gains movement speed and fires both weapons at the nearest enemy for the next 1.75 seconds, dealing 98 physical damage based on your attack speed over the course of 6 shots, which is also based on your attack speed. The more attack speed you have, the more damage you'll deal with Onslaught. But keep in mind, having more attack damage also helps you deal damage with Onslaught. Don't let the attack speed fool you. More damage will always be better on Aphel. More attack speed can also help. He scales at pretty much everything. Onslaught. Let's do refreshing of cooldowns and refreshing of mana. So we're going to move around and see how Onslaught changes. Closest champion. So if this dummy right here is the lowest, and I do Onslaught, I'm not going to prioritize the lowest. I'll prioritize the closest, which, you know, blows. So let's see how you can change targets here. Whoever you're closer to. Now this long range shot that I just did is the Caliber ability. Resurgent Moonshot. The prefix is different based on the weapon that's on your offhand. So this could be Incendiary Moonshot. No matter what Caliber is Moonshot. Aphelios fires a long range shot, dealing 81 damage, scaling with his attack damage, his ability power, and his level. Obviously, you'd want to do attack damage because he's an AD carry, but 100% ability power is something that he scales with for some reason. Now, when you land a shot, you mark them. You have vision on them, and then you can fire a follow-up long-range shot. So, if you really wanted to, you can get a combo off, make, switch weapons, boom. You don't even know what just happened. You guys are probably watching this like, what the fuck did he just do? So, I just ran out of my Severum ammo. My gun is completely exhausted of ammunition. So what does that mean? It is now at the bottom of the weapon queue. So you have to keep that in mind. My Severum has just been burned out. I have 9 bullets left on my Caliber. Every ability usage consumes 10 ammo. Now, you don't have to have 10 ammo to use the ability. You can even have less than 10 ammo. So what you'd want to do, for the most bang for your buck, is to use the weapon's auto for whatever reason, right? You want to get more range off. And the moment that the weapon gets to 1 or maybe even 2 ammo, pop a Q, boom. Weapon swaps, switch over to your secondary weapon, etc. Now we have 2 new sets of weapons. Let's review. Gravitum does not use an offhand weapon. It is only itself. So, Gravitum passive. Aphelios attacks slow the target by 30%, decaying over the course of 2.5 seconds. If you look at the tooltip, why isn't it not showing? Oh, perfect. Its main ability is Binding Eclipse. The name will never change because, you know, unfortunately, it can't work with an offhand weapon. So, Gravitum active. Aphelios triggers a gravity field on enemies he has slowed with Gravitum, rooting for 1 second, dealing 58 magic damage, scaling with level, attack damage, and ability power. Now, obviously, ability power is going to be higher, but the bonus AD. Remember, Aphelios is a crit carry. These numbers seem crazy, but I promise you, it's placebo. Just understand. Placebo is the right word. Just understand that you're going to be building crit for the entirety of Aphelios' career. Offhand weapon reminder. Gravitum. This ability does not use Aphelios' offhand weapon. Ever. No matter what, ever. Some people would argue it's the worst weapon, but it's very good, situationally speaking. So, we're going to attack these dummies here. As you can see, there is a Gravitum bullet on him. When Aphelios has a Gravitum bullet on any of these characters, he can hit Q, rooting them. Pretty good for a situational circumstance. On to the next weapon. Inferno. Aphelios' attacks deal 96 damage to the primary target and 75% of that damage to enemies behind. Really, really useful weapon if you want to cheese people out. Great combinations as well. Infernum is one of the strongest weapons that Aphelios could ever possess. So, let's examine. 104 damage, and then there's the Spouts of Flames. you look at the tooltip, Aphelios spouts out flames on his active. Or actually, the tooltip here does 110% more damage. Just 10% more, 110% more damage than his regular attacks. Crazy good. Splash damage deals 23% to minions. Whatever. His active is Binding Duskwave. Remember, prefix, then suffix. The current suffix is what he has. So Duskwave. Duskwave is just his ability. Binding is just the fact that he has Gravitum. So, Aphelios spouts out waves of flames, dealing 25 physical damage, and then he attacks each enemy hit with his offhand. Example. Spout flame, follow up. Switch weapon, root. Simple combo. Simple combo. Now let's see the actual flamethrower in action. Extra bullet goes through. Spreads over. Spreads over. Perfect. Now, let's get rid of this Gravitum. We now have Crescendum, the Chakrams. Strong as strong can be, catches people off guard in all of these low elo ranks. If you get to high elo and people that know how to play Aphelios are around you, you're never going to get away with the shit that you can get away with in low elo. But Aphelios' Crescendum, let's read it. Crescendum passive. Aphelios' attacks ricochet off their target and back to Aphelios. Aphelios can attack immediately after he catches the ricochet. Other abilities that can use Crescendum create mirror chakrams that deal bonus damage when Aphelios attacks. Tooltip. Bounce return speed is increased by attack speed. Chakrams can accumulate up to 20 and last for 5 seconds. The mirror chakrams damage starts at such and such number and diminishes subsequent mirror chakrams hit such and such number. Duration refreshes on attacking champions, and each of the mirror chakrams can critically strike. You're going to see all the crit interactions too in this first half. So, what is the active? Incendiary Sentry. Remember, prefix is from the offhand weapon, suffix is from the main hand weapon. The prefix Incendiary, suffix Sentry. So, Aphelios deploys a Lunar Sentry equipped with Aphelios' offhand weapon that lasts for 20 seconds. Sentries activate when an enemy approaches and fires at them, dealing 46 damage over the course of 4 seconds per shot. The different turret can affect his DPS entirely, or even give him a special interaction. So, first, let's use Infernum. Aphelios now has 2 mirror chakrams because he hit 2 different people with his Infernum Q. Now, if Aphelios autos, he keeps refreshing the duration, as so, and deals more damage the closer he is to a target. The further you are from said target, the less DPS you'll do, but typically you want to stay away from someone that could just burst you. This weapon, however, makes it so much easier for you to skirmish, and here comes the exhaust potential. Exhaust them, decrease their damage, make sure they can't run, melt them with auto attacks. Now let's get rid of this. Now look at how the abilities change. The names of them change. Arcing Onslaught. Resurgent Sentry. Placed on a tower. Aphelios heals HP for every tower attack. Pretty good. Use Severum Q. Build up plenty mirror chakrams for every auto you land with Severum Q. This is your strongest combo for 1-in-1 encounters. Pair that with Exhaust. You're killing anybody that you see. Be mindful for champions that can block attacks like Shen, Jax, Nyla, and Yasuo, because your chakrams are still ranged weapons, despite the fact that you can use them really well in melee range. Now you know what isn't a ranged weapon on Aphelios? That's correct. Severum. The Scythe pistol is exactly that, a scythe, but a pistol. It acts as if it's a melee attack that's ranged. This can go through Yasuo Windwall, Samira Windwall, anything that would block projectiles, not basic attacks. Now, let's exhaust more of his Severum. You can see the other names. Just look at all those mirror chakrams. Ah, so amazing. Oh man. Got 10 of these hoes. Oh, and the damage just keeps getting better. So, Arcing Moonshot, as you can see, mark a champion. Once that champion is marked, fire back. A mirror chakram comes back to you. And then we have the name of this one. Precision Sentry. Place a turret down. The turret will fire, marking. Hit the mark, marking. Hit the mark, marking. Switch over to your Gravitum that you have available. Group the target. Shoot another Q, marking. They'd pretty much be dead by then. So, Binding Moonshot. Be nice. Now, Binding Duskwave. Simple gun rotations. Now we're gonna get into combos. Some combos. This might be a little advanced, but let me show you something. Okay. Both of my weapons are currently below 10 ammo. So let's say you're getting into a fight, right? Right now, I know that my gun combo is Gravitum, Infernum, Severum, Crescendum. So let's say, right? 80 carry and support, you're ahead. You have these two weapons, they don't know what's coming next. You approach them both, you do an Infernum Duskwave into a Binding Q, you'll have Severum and then Chakrams up. Because they're rooted, when you have Severum out, Severum Q, build the Chakrams, auto them in melee range with the Chakrams. Like so. Mink, Mink, Mop, Mopsy. And just like that, you did a 4-weapon combo. Boom, 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 boom. Switch, boom, 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 boomerang. You feel what I'm saying? Perfect. So, we just covered all of his abilities. There's going to be some combinations that you haven't seen yet in this section, but you'll see it when I play the game. You feel what I'm saying? Now, you guys are all probably wondering, what does his ultimate ability do? And I'm glad you asked. Let's level up to 6, shall we? As I said, Aphelios' abilities automatically level up. The actual raw abilities, not the stats that you have to increase. The stats you have to choose. But whenever he hits 6, you instantly have ult, just hit R. If you're in a situation where you have to do that, just hit ult. You're gonna be fine. Let's get into the next one. Let's add another dummy. Perfect. Now, let's start with the chakrams. Moonlight Vigil. Aphelios fires a concentrated blast of moonlight that explodes when it hits a champion, dealing 134 physical damage, scaling with attack damage and ability power, to surrounding enemies. Then, Aphelios attacks all champions hit with his main hand weapon. The crescendo bonus is you summon 5 additional mirror chakrams, plus 1 for every champion you've hit, so you'll summon around 8. It should be 8 or 7. The attacks apply on hit, crit deal 100% of the normal damage instead. So, 3 champions hit, I summon 8. I get 5 mirror chakrams, plus 1 for every champion hits. So, if you're ever in a fight, boom, immediately try and kill the first person. Obviously, you'll have lifesteal, things of that nature. You'll be fine, chilling like that. Next up, Severum. Same thing, except the Severum bonus is Aphelios restores 250 HP. So, let me go under tower, take like 2 hits, nothing too crazy. Think, Mop. Oh, that hurts. If I use Severum ult, I heal for a good substantial amount. Boom, boom, boom. You also, it's also you using your main hand, so you technically just Severum auto to all of them. So you're healing off of the auto as well, but you also heal off of the ult bonus, 250 HP. Alright, what's next? Let's burn some ammo. Alright. Next, we have the Calibrum bonus. Aphelios marks all champions. Marks added this way deal an additional 50 physical damage when each one consumed. So, 3 champions marked. Then, when you proc the mark, there's going to be the other marks go towards that same target. Go. Burn some more ammo. Those 2 go towards that target, dealing damage. Oh my god. Incendiary Moonshot. Precision Duskwave. So nice. So nice. So nice. B-Chain proc. Now, Moonlight Vigil with the Incendiary Duskwave. The Moonlight Blast deals an additional 63 physical damage, and the subsequent attacks explode, dealing 90% of their damage to surrounding targets. So what does this mean? If Aphelios were to ult only one person, okay, that's not gonna work. Clear damage. If Aphelios were to ult only one person, that explosion that pops out won't do enough damage. But if he ults two, they bounce off each other. They hurt. Now let's see what happens if we have three. Oh. It just gets even better. What about four? Even greater. In a team fight situation where they're all bundled up and you have more than enough damage, one ulti from this is going to squad wipe. Strong ultimate ability. And finally, we have one more to cover. Binding Sentry, Binding Eclipse. Standard weapon. Gravitum Ult. Gravitum bonus. Slow strength increases to 99%. Binding Eclipse root effect is increased to 1.35 seconds against these targets that are slowed by 99%. So it's good to catch people. They're all slowed for even stronger. They're rooted for even longer. So if you have like, I don't know, a Yi that's popping off, running towards somebody, slow them all down. Nothing they can do. Simple as that. So we just covered all of his abilities. Now let's see what happens when we have Crit Strike. This is going to be full build. It's going to look a little crazy, but you're going to see my damage throughout an actual game. So let's just get to the chase of the full build. Get myself abundance of gold. I would recommend you guys go Swifties to start out, but I like to go Gluttonous Greaves because I know how to play the champ to its full potential. Build path is going to be Collector into Infinity Edge, and then after Infinity Edge, you're going to get LDR. I like to go Runons afterwards, since I have Gluttonous Greaves. If I have enough stacks, we're going to go Guardian Angel. Your last item is really situational, circumstantial. I'm just going to get Bloodthirster. Now. Oh my god. Oh my god. So much damage. Serum Q. Let's actually max myself out. All that attack speed, all that attack damage, all that lethality. Look at that shotgun. Oh my god. Inferno multi. Mark, fire. Oh my god. And the best part about the Rudon interaction. You land an auto from Narnia, the follow-up autos are there. Same with Gravel. Or not Gravel, Caliber. Oh my god. It's just so nice. That's just bullshit numbers, bro. Alright, that's enough fucking around. I'm just bullshitting. So, let's get into a game. Let's see what we can do. And let's have fun with it. Alright? Oh, man.